the text. There we go. This should be good. Okay, you need to like lay down and chill. Don't like spill my drink or anything, okay? You lay down and you have a chill. You chill and you have a chill. What is this? So, Season of Discovery, Developer Update, February 27th, 2024. Okay, what are they doing now? Agrand. We love Agrand. Greetings, the WoW Classic team. The WoW Classic team wanted to take a moment to dig into a few adjustments we plan to make the next week, as well as share some details about how the next few phases of Season of Discovery will handle endgame raiding and our thought process around this. Okay, nice. Let's talk about the future, huh? Buff, experience, and leveling. When we first concepted the Season of Discovery, we knew we wanted alts to be a major fixture of the experience, so we decided to add an experience buff, Discoverer's Delight, into previous level bands at the beginning of each phase. This is great for existing characters that were not yet at the current level cap, or were new characters created after the phase changes, but if you went into phase 2 with several characters at 25 already, then it can be a little daunting to level them right now. We have been considering ways to help with this over the past several days, and we have made adjustments to our existing plans. Okay. Starting next week, March 5th, with the maintenance, the Discoverer's Delight experience buff will be enabled on all realms, increasing experience gain from levels 1 to 39 by 100%. This used to be 50 and only to level 25. Now it's all the way to 39. I'm just gonna stop leveling. Why have I been leveling alts? I feel like my time right now have been wasted leveling alts. Okay. Alongside Discoverer's Delight adjustments, we'll also be reducing the cost of normal racial mounts and mount training by roughly half at level 40. So people have been asking me why I haven't bought a mount yet, or people have been trying to get me to buy a mount. This is why. Oh, we're living large, boys. Solheim, you're so dumb for not buying a mount. Look at this guy, man. He's making thousands of gold and he doesn't have a mount, dude. This is why. Oh my days. Lastly, we will also be increasing the base gold reward from all quest rewards. Lastly, we will also be increasing the base gold reward from all quest rewards, while players are level 1 to 39. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. So leveling alts might be the next gold farm. Please note that this bonus gold will not be in effect at level 40, meaning this will not impact the experience to gold conversion for quests completed at the current max level. This will help equalize things and make questing while leveling a little bit more lucrative, which will help players with things like purchasing new skills and buying their mounts, since they will be leveling twice as fast. Makes a lot of sense. I'm just wondering how much. Like, how much gold do we get for a quest then? Going forward, we are also looking at leveling adjustments for when Phase 3 launches and the level cap raises to 50. We would like to continue to make mid-phase adjustments like this to help smooth over the leveling curve for alts a little bit, or help those leveling a bit slower to get that nudge over the finish line. We think alts are great, and we wanted to feel good about playing them, and we think this will help. I think so as well. I just wish I hadn't spent any time leveling them so far, but thankfully I have mostly been doing BFD, so I'm happy either way, and I'm gonna keep doing some BFDs anyway, so I'm still happy either way. I need to get the epic staff anyway, right? So, raid size at level 60. This is a hot topic, by the way, that a lot of people have varied opinions on. People either want to have 40-man raiding, some people want to have 10-man, someone wants to meet in the middle and have 20-man. It's a little bit of a hot topic right now. Recently, a hot topic of debate is the raid size at level 60, and we have been watching the commentary on this closely. To help quell confusion, here's a look at exactly what to expect in the next few phases in terms of raid size. The yet to be announced... Oh, nice! Okay, the yet to be announced level 50 raid will be a 20 player experience. Suck it. Yes, nice. This is great. I was hoping for Normer to be 20 players, so the next one being 20 man. Fantastic. Now my guild can actually work around trying to find 20 players, and having one 20 man roster instead of managing so many 10 mans, which we're trying to do, by the way, to prep for level 60 content. If we're gonna do 40 mans eventually, at the moment you have to manage 4 10 mans, and that means you want to have 8 tanks, so 2 tanks per raid. But at level 40, now at the level 60 when you're doing 40 man raids, that ends up with having 8 tanks, which means that at least half of the tanks you currently have, they have to be DPS mains that are kind of like tanking right now, just because they have to. And then DPS main at level 60. It's really weird, man. Molten Core... Molten Core will also be a 20 player experience in Season of Discovery. Wait. I'm actually not against that, you know? I'm actually not against that, to be fair. Like, I'm all for this. I want to see like what that could be like. Past that, we are still discussing exactly what raiding in the later tiers of SOD will look like in terms of raid size. For a bit of background, when we first concepted the Season of Discovery, we felt that it was perfectly natural for a version of OG WoW to have 40 player raids. This is partially because the development time needed to scale them was not planned within the scope of what we set out to accomplish on the aggressive schedule we have, but mostly because 40 player raids felt like such a defining characteristic of OG WoW and are utterly unique to this version of the game. It wasn't really even in consideration to eschew them entirely. I think that makes sense. I think that's pretty nice. When we set out to create our level up raids, on the other hand, we did feel like asking people to field 40 players would be a tall ask at level 25. We wanted these first few raids to be somewhat easy to form, pick up groups for as well. As a result, we decided on 10 player experiences instead for the first 2 level up raids. As we have played the game ourselves and watched how players approach community building, we realized that we have set some communities up to potentially struggle a bit by asking them to recruit from 1 or 2 to 10 player raid groups up to a full 40 man, should they choose to. As a result, we make it clear now what our plans are to start bridging from 10 player raids to higher raid sizes. That was exactly my point here, by the way, when I was talking about this in phase 1, that I wanted to have 20 man raiding in phase 2, just to start bridging the gap between 10 player and 40 player. But doing that in phase 3 is fine as well, perfect. Yeah, it's fine. So on the other hand here, we can go over to while overhauling all 40 player raids down to 20, would be theoretically possible. This might be prohibitively difficult and detract significantly from the other features and content that we have planned to implement in a post-60 Season of Discovery. We are doing some investigation now to help us understand what would be needed and what the framework of the OG WoW data can support in this regard. There are some features that just cannot currently exist in OG WoW as well, such as flex raiding for example, so we are constrained in exactly what we're able to do here. Molten Core is definitely unique here in that it is simple enough mechanically and under the hood that it would be relatively easy to pare down to a 20 player experience. Itemization changes at level 60. One thing we have also not talked about yet is our thoughts around level 60 endgame rewards and the very significant changes we have planned here, okay? And that may also be a key piece of context missing to help illustrate our philosophy on different raid sizes in Season of Discovery. We currently plan to revamp many items from dungeons and raids, including the existing 20 player raids at level 60, as well as adding new items across all phases of endgame. we have a ton of exciting playstyles that are new or were traditionally seen as off-specs that have been given life in Season of Discovery and will come into their full power at level 60. We want to itemize well for as many different builds and playstyle as we are able to in the time that we have. We currently also have plans to make adjustments to the difficulty of all raids, as well as the power level of the rewards available. This does not mean making raids harder or easier across the board relative to player power, but looking individually at every single experience and defining what those experiences are about and what their purpose is. A theoretical example here, a raid that may have traditionally been considered to be a catch-up raid such as Sul'Gurub could see adjustments that bring the challenges up challenge level up slightly, but also greatly increases the quality and diversity of the rewards so that they feel like a viable progression path alongside other content in that phase, such as BWL. Okay. I'm once again not against that. A more difficult strategy. On the flip side, we also wanted to make sure that any 40-player raids that exist remain approachable, i.e. able to be completed in pickup groups, and that they maintain that soda and pretzels feel of 2019 Classic raiding, where you could bring almost any group composition of our experience level and have success. Okay, not too bad. We think that adjusting the quality and quality of the rewards to a more consistent level between different raid sizes could help provide a larger menu of activities to do all feel rewarding or worth doing to a wide variety of players and play styles, and add a lot of fun things for players to chase to increase the efficacy of their chosen Season of Discovery role or playstyle. Ultimately, we recognize that not knowing what's coming can be a cause for anxiety. We also recognize that what we set out to create and the audience that we created for it have grown and evolved in the short time since we announced Season of Discovery. It's also difficult for players outside of our development process to understand what the true endgame is for Season of Discovery without us being extremely specific. But it is also a bit too soon to really share the nitty-gritty details on every aspect of the level 60 endgame. Some things are still in concept and other things will change based on other future learnings and where your feedback takes us. We want to arrive at a place where, ideally, if your guild wants to strictly stick to a small raid team of 20 people, the rewards are compelling enough that you don't feel behind a team focused on 40-player raiding. And they want our feedback. Essentially, what I got from the last one here is that doing Set G could give the same reward on a power level as doing BWL. As an example, that's kind of what I got there. If BWL is 40 man and Set G is 20 man, they want Set G to be both as difficult as BWL and give you power items like raid loot that are on the same power level, because they don't want you to feel like you have to do 40-player raiding if you only have 20 people. Based on the last sentence, that's kind of where I arrived on that topic, personally. But we'll have to wait and see. That was a lot of info, holy. That is a long blue post with a lot of info, and I'm gonna be honest, I really like the transparency. Them being open about everything. Once again, sharing a lot of information, but not too much, because we still have no idea what's really coming. It's more about sharing their philosophy and like the grand things they're doing. There's still so many unknown things, but they're sharing the things that we kind of get a little bit of anxiety about, you know? But what is this? Starting next week, March 5th, with the maintenance. So leveling alts will be 100% faster now, like you literally get 100%, and it's level 1 to 39. And you get more gold from doing quests. I think this last one, by the way, is to combat people just farming Scarlet Monastery 24/7. So now you have more of an incentive to actually quest. And alt leveler Solheim is back on the table, by the way. Yeah. I already have 3 level 40s, I was planning on pushing a 4th one, but now I'm just gonna wait until this goes through. Oh yeah, Yeah, we're gonna wait. That is a massive blue post. How do we feel about this? Like everything. How do we feel about the experience buff, first of all? How do you feel about the gold being added to, like, doing quests as well? And how do we feel about the raid sizes? Because I'm happy, but in a weird way. Yeah? I'm happy in a weird way. I literally just bought my mount yesterday. Yeah, once again, one of the best things for me is the fact that, where was it again? Yeah, wait, where was it again? Yeah, here we go. Alongside the adjustments, we'll also be reducing the cost of normal racial mounts and the mount training by roughly half at level 40. It just makes me so happy if this goes through, because people have been asking me and hounding me like, oh, get your mount, Solheim, why don't you have the mount yet? And now I literally have a reason. Well, another reason. So, I mean, yeah. For me, that's a good change. Overall, though, I think, I don't know. Yeah, this one could be controversial, huh? It's like, if you bought the mount very recently, this one feels like a kick in the nuts. But then again, you're gonna be happy on your alts anyway. Like, any alt is gonna be happy here. Like, anyone leveling alt is gonna be happy. Anyone who hasn't gotten to level 40 yet will be happy. Even you, if you're leveling alts, you'll be happy. But if you bought the mount yesterday, you're kinda like, someone just kicked you in the nuts, man. Streamer bennies, yeah. Yeah, Agrant actually hit me up through DMs, and he told me about this before Phase 2 came out, and that's why I haven't bought the mount yet. Yeah. He asked me for feedback on this, and it was my idea all along. That was a long blue post, dude. Holy. Alright, let's go back to playing the game and let's not waste more time leveling alts then, huh? Yeah, I'm not gonna waste more time leveling alts then, that's shit. I also just saw a red run by. Oh, that's a good boy red, man. He just left me alone. He was just like, okay, you're AFK, I'm gonna leave you alone. So what are we doing now? Farming? Yeah, now we go and farm, dude. There's no point in doing a singular fucking quest. And it's just like, nah. Where's my Hearthstone? Stormwind. Nice. I mean, I did get to level 32, only 8 more to go, so like, yeah, now we farm, huh? now you're farming. It's not like you're hurting for gold anyway, no point in having a mount for full price if you're making hella profit standing still at the auction house. Exactly, yeah. Have you seen the new changes coming up? We just spent about 15 minutes going through them, yeah. Which is gonna be a clip coming up on YouTube as well, probably. Yes, that was a long-ass blue post, man. Alright, so now we farm, I suppose. The only question is, where the fuck can we farm? What do we think? What do I think? I think it's pretty okay. Pretty nice, man. Pretty nice. We farm and we craft.